Hey everyone, welcome back. I know I haven't been making a video in a few days, but that's just because, well, there hasn't been any anime that's come out in a few days. Like, some of the stuff has ended, although tomorrow there are 3 that's coming out and are ending. Glass Lip, Hamatora, Maji Moji Rumo, and then Friday there's Tokyo ESP, which is ending. So I'll have some more videos of that, and then not to mention the reviews of the series as a whole. But today I'm going to be reviewing Hamatora. Yeah. Now, for those of you who follow my channel, you know that I started off reviewing this episodically, but then I quit. The reason for that is because I didn't drop it, obviously, or else I wouldn't soon be reviewing it, but I put it on hold. Okay. I forget which episode at, but I didn't get very far. I actually think I might watch like 6 or 7 episodes and put it on hold. But within the past couple days, I've been marathoning it just so I can finish it and review it. And it's pretty bad. Like, the first season I thought was actually quite slow, but still pretty good. Well, okay, anyways, up to the end, which was kind of bullshit. This series was consistently bad with a few good parts here or there. Okay. Not really going to discuss the plot, because the plot's more or less the same, except for lots of new plot twists here and there. Really, the only 3 major things I actually kind of liked that happened with the characters. First off, there was that, I forget which episodes these were on, and by the way. But there was the episode where it showed Honey's backstory, which I actually really liked. And there was the episode that showed Hajime's backstory, which I actually really liked. Honey's father, who's revealed introduced in this season, basically works for this like organization that likes to basically control minimum holders. They put them under so much torture and agonizing pain in order to figure out what their minimum is and how they'll be useful to society and the government, and then force them to be useful to society and the government. Okay. And Honey didn't want to have any part of that, so she basically left, being resented by her own father. And there's a lot more to it than that, but that's the gist of it, basically. Then there was Hajime's backstory, which Hajime was also locked in that same place, and she ended up being introduced to Nice. That was like 3 years ago, I think. Nice ended up breaking her out, and the two of them have had a pretty strong bond ever since then. She didn't really have a name, so Nice ended up giving her the name Hajime. Again, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's the gist of it, essentially. And then there was revealing Art's true plan, which it came out of nowhere, and like I always say, plot twists like these have to have foreshadowing, which it didn't. At least not that I recall. But I like the last episode, at least up to the very end, which really sucked ass, because it showed how Art, first off, lived past the end of season 1, when, Moral supposedly killed him. And it also shows his plan, which his plan to get rid of the minimum holders was pretty brilliant, because Hajime basically has a minimum called the Nihilist minimum, which allows her to get rid of the minimum powers of all other minimum holders. But she can't control it. So if she's under deep emotional distress, it'll actually activate without her controlling, because she can't control it. And that was basically his plan, to use that, and his steps to get there I thought were actually really cool. Okay. Too bad the rest of the series kind of sucked for the most part. I'm going to be jumping around here in this review a little bit. The animation, for the most part, sucked. Just like in the first season. Nothing really much to say there. The art. No, not the character. The actual art of the series. Same as the first season, was actually really good. Okay? Meaning it was very unique, and I really liked the way it looked. Okay? The music was also really good, and so was the opening and the ending. The music wasn't anything that I remember now, but it was still good enough for the moment, and then the opening and the ending were really good. Well, the opening was okay. The ending I thought was really good, though. That's it for positives. Everything else is a fucking negative, okay? So, Nice apparently dies in the beginning of this series. Okay, or well, he died at the end of the at the end of the last series apparently, according to Art. But then he was, and everyone's in mourning about it at the beginning of the series naturally. But then it reveals he's alive, and everyone knew that. So why the fuck were they in mourning? Just to fuck with our minds? Fuck that. Seriously. Oh my god. And apparently Art's fucking Jesus now because he can't fucking die. Like, he somehow resurrected himself when Moro killed him, as is revealed in this series. Like I said, I like that. They explained it. I don't like the explanation. Okay. Resurrected himself then. He resurrected himself when he was supposedly killed at one point in this episode. He committed suicide at the end of the series, and just before the ending credits, he's somehow alive again. Nice was killed by Art in like the episode 11 or 12, something like that, and he was somehow magically alive again. Why? Oh my god. This series is just so bad. And the thing is, there's a lot of amazing concepts here. There really is. Or not amazing, but a lot of really good things here. Like, it had so much potential. And it just squandered it, you know? People still like to compare this to the X-Men, which I think is a fucking insult to the X-Men. But they do. You know what made and the discrimination definitely got a lot bigger in this season, definitely. But you know what makes the X-Men better? The writing and the characters. When you're working with a story that's about discrimination with people that are different, in this case, in the X-Men's case, you know, people with powers, you have to have good, likable characters. And, like, most of the characters aren't necessarily, or at least most members of Hamatora aren't necessarily unlikable, but they're just bland and boring, you know? And that's still a no-no for any story, let alone a story like this. It just baffles me that the series is so fucking bad, okay? Like, there's so many, like, retcons in the story, plot conveniences that come out of plot turns that come out of fucking nowhere, with no foreshadowing or build-up at all. So many plot holes, and so many inconsistencies, not only the plot, but also the fucking characters. At the end of the series, I say the only two characters I really think are deep would be Honey and Hajime. Those are my two favorite characters in the series now. Well, which I know is not saying much, but I do actually really like them because of their backstories, okay? I mean, and I wanted to feel sorry for Art after learning his past with his brother, Skill and whatnot, but I just couldn't bring myself to because he's such a shitty character in the game, which sucked because in Season 1 I thought he was a great character. He was my favorite character in Season 1. Now he's such a shitty character. And it really sucks that they can go for something that wasn't amazing in Season 1, but was still... It was good, at least I thought, up to the end. And then go for something that total, like, damn near total shit. And it's really disappointing, okay? I really can't recommend Hamatora. Like, first off, if you haven't watched Season 1, you probably won't watch Season 2. But I can't recommend Hamatora at all. Like, the reason I can't recommend Season 1, even though I did think it was good, is because of the ending. Because when you watch the ending, then you're going to want to watch Season 2. But I definitely can't recommend Season 2. That's why I can't recommend Season 1. I can't recommend Hamatora at all. I'll probably watch Season 3 if it's ever made, just because I want to see how bad it can really get. Okay, I want to see if they could actually make this worse, because I don't see it getting any better than this if they did make Season 2. I really don't. But I want to see exactly how bad that it can truly get. Okay. So anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. That's you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.